Hello and welcome to another restoration video of the Hymek. As well as ongoing engine repairs, this time we're having a look at the engine preheater unit. Essentially, the preheater unit is a little diesel burner which heats the coolant up to full operational temperature, which is circulated round the engine, ensure everything is up to working temperature before that start button is pressed. So as you can see here, this is the water pump and motor. There's a cover plate missing which will be fabricated and replaced, along with plenty of dirt, grime, loose paint and grease. This will all be scraped off and repainted and tidied up a bit. This is the injection side of the preheater. You can see the injector nozzle there, where normally diesel is sprayed into this chamber, ignited with electrode, and heat is generated, which is captured by all these little fins. These increase the surface area to increase the efficiency. However, as you can see here, there's plenty of soot and grime, which obviously reduces the efficiency. This is going to be scraped out and vacuumed clean. When the injector head was taken off, it was noticed that the injector was extremely loose, which has caused quite a bit of leakage of diesel. This could cause a bit of issue when using the unit. So you can see here the construction of the unit. The flame comes through the middle, round back on itself, and up through the exhaust stack. And without further ado, on with the cleaning. Thankfully, one of the relics of COVID was having plenty of face masks, as there's plenty of soot and dust released into the atmosphere. So this has been sped up a little bit as I don't want anyone falling into a coma, but all the dust, soot and ash around the burner and internally was vacuumed clean. Had to keep this one in as it's quite a satisfying one to watch, all the grime just disappearing down the vacuum cleaner. Thankfully Henry quite liked all this dust and grime and he didn't seem to put up too much of a fuss. I found that this method worked quite well, using a brass wire wheel, not on an actual drill, just using it in my hand like this, just gently to try and dislodge some of the soot that was quite heavily baked into the unit. As you can see here, it's lifted it quite nicely, of which Henry went in there and sucked it all clean. So a quick degrease, as the area was quite heavily contaminated with grease, oil, diesel and other nasties that would probably affect the paint from sticking. So just a quick wipe down of everything with using a brake cleaning solution. So without further ado, on with the painting as well. So sped up just to ensure no one falls into a paint coma. The unit was applied with some heat resistant silver paint, which freshens the unit up and actually makes the engine room look much more appealing, should any guests wish to have a look in there once the Loco is back in traffic. As I'm sure you'll all agree, this is a much smarter looking unit, all clean, tidy. Oh, missed a bit there, this will be addressed later, and I think I just banged my head there as well. Yep, I did. But this is looking much cleaner and ready to go. The next stage for this overhaul was to look at the actual electrical equipment, wiring, and ensure that was all still in good condition. Also, when I was stripping it down ready for paint, I noticed that the little sight glass in the burner head has cracked, probably due to heat. Luckily, we've got a few of these spare, so as good practice, this was replaced with a nice new one, cleaned up and reinstalled. Nice little bit of copper slip just applied to the unit there. I always think this is a good thing, just in case for the next man or woman taking this apart, give them a fighting chance. Just a little clean up to get rid of any excess copper slip. And in addition to this work, the injector tip was removed and cleaned with some injector cleaner, and the electrode tips were cleaned with some Scotch-Brite. And as you can see, the actual sight glass is much cleaner now, giving the user the ability to see if the unit is working. So was this worth it in the end? And I think with the contents of Henry here, you can actually say yes, it was. There's plenty of soot and grime in there. So work was also carried out on the electrical motors. This involved giving them everything a good clean and wash out to ensure that everything's ready for when we recommission the Loco. Okay, so that concludes this little video, and thank you very much for watching if you've made it this far, and hopefully we'll be continuing with the restoration of the Hymek. Just like to say everyone from the Berry Hydraulics Group are very thankful for all the people who are still donating towards Western Prints. This is done through the website on screen now via a PayPal account, and it certainly does help and make the difference with the restoration of this locomotive. Again, thank you very much for this, and just to note, any money donated to Western Prints will only be used on Western Prints. Work is due to continue on this machine once the Hymek is back in traffic, but unfortunately it'll have to wait its turn, but rest assured, Prints will return. In addition to these YouTube videos, we also have a Facebook page which details what work's been carried out on the Locos, events that we're carrying out, and any running days that the Locos are doing. So please come along, join the group, and help us restore our locomotives. Thanks for watching, and see you all on the next one. Thanks.